Hello and welcome to Killer Whales Live. I'm your host, Rodney Sorensen, and today we're going to be giving you an uncensored look into some of the hottest crypto projects in the space right now. So here's how it works. Each project is going to have 10 minutes to pitch their hearts out, all while being grilled by our three judges. Now, here's the twist. You, the audience, are going to have the final say, and will be able to influence the live poll and decide which project should sink or which project should swim. Just scan the QR code visit vote.hello.one. You'll see this screen, hit sink or swim to cast your vote. You can also drop sink or swim in the chat to participate. And while you're down there, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and repost and like this video if you're watching over on X. But without further ado, let's get into meeting our three judges. And first up, we have Grammy Award winning producer and community and partnership lead over at Yuga Labs, Illa the producer. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. If y'all don't know, I'm Illa the producer, 12-time platinum Grammy nominated music producer. Also the community and partnership lead at Yuga Labs, work across Board API Club, Other Side, Ape Chain, all things Yuga, and bet. So excited to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you, Illa. And next up, we have Big Dog, senior investor at Coinbase Ventures, Jonathan King, or JK for short. JK, how are we doing?
GM, everyone. Thank you for having me. Good luck to all of the projects presenting today.
Awesome, brother. And last and probably least, we have the internet cartoon monkey with a big mouth and even bigger opinions. Bunny, what's going on?
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Rodney.
Hey, I'm not the guy who writes the stuff, Bunny, you know?
I'll make sure to tell my kids that when they're watching.
Well, it's good to have you, brother. Okay, so let's meet our first project. We are going to have Michael Healy over at the Unit Network. Michael, how we doing? Welcome to the show. And as a reminder, guys, make sure to scan the QR code so you can participate in seeing who sinks or swims. Michael, how we doing today, brother?
Doing really well. Excited to be here. Thank you.
It's good to have you, brother. You feeling nervous? How we doing?
No, feeling good. Really looking forward.
Awesome. All right. So without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Michael Healy, half Singaporean, half British, software engineer, investor, and been building technology and applications for the past 15 years. Was very lucky to get into crypto in 2010. I built the Android app for WikiLeaks. Then the governments froze the WikiLeaks bank accounts, Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal donation channels, which forced us to use Bitcoin. I led the WikiLeaks Bitcoin fundraise, and 9 cents was an early investor in BNB, Binance, Ethereum, Solana, and many other blockchain protocols. I worked at the third biggest VC in Europe, Wellington Partners, where we were seed investors in Spotify, and founded a video conferencing app with several million users. Now I'm the co-founder of Unit Network. We're a decentralized exchange with a mission to fix the crypto industry and bring tokens to the mainstream. Many view crypto as a casino based on speculation with meme coins, NFTs, and ICOs. Unit Network is going to change that by introducing fundamental value from the real world based on earnings and cash flows. We're the most powerful tool for building a token, make it easy for all businesses in the world to go public on a global decentralized stock exchange. With 50,000 users and wallets, 1,200 assets, and millions and billions of users to come. There's two groups in society. There's the founders and investors on one side, and the customers and employees on the other. This widens the wealth and equity and gap. Unit Network makes it easy to include customers and community in the value created. The internet transformed information, mobile transformed communication. Unit Network is going to transform ownership and value distributed for all businesses and companies globally. Fundraising is really tough unless you have a good network and track record. Unit Network makes it easy and gives everyone a shot. People are also scared of robots and AI taking jobs. Unit Network allows everyone to be an investor and stakeholder in the value created. Businesses also have a lack of liquidity. If I or you invest in a business or startup, you usually won't get a return unless it gets acquired or goes public. Unit Network changes this by making all businesses tokenized and liquid, taking it public on chain. What Google did to search, Facebook did to social networks, we believe we're going to do to crypto and DeFi. It may not be the first exchange, but we believe we're the most powerful, allowing everyone in the world to tokenize. The unit coin makes exchange fees from every trade, 0.5%, which given we do $100 million in daily volume, generates $500,000 a day, which is $182 million a year. Most blockchain apps and decentralized exchanges focus on having their main token or single blockchain. We're connected to 16 different chains, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Solana to BNB to Ton. Websites needed eyeballs, apps needed downloads. The crypto industry currently believes that you need a good chart with a high market cap, with liquidity. We believe there's a lack of fundamentals. We introduce a concept of a treasury where tokens are based on revenue and earnings. We've developed 25 apps, from a decentralized Uber to decentralized Airbnb to a ride-sharing app to a ticketing app. And we have 75 different industries and cities tokens. Join us on this mission to change the economy. And here's a quick walkthrough through some of the app. Here you can see the homepage. We're a global decentralized stock exchange. We're a crowdfunding tool, as well as banking the unbanked. This is how easy it is to create an account. Use email, password, and PIN. It generates a private key. You can use the Killer Whales invite code to create an account. And once you create an account, you fill up this form. You can very easily set up a wallet. Here you can see the various tokens you have. And then when you create a coin, you just name it, similar to Google search, hit create. And just like that, you have a coin. Here you can see how much you have in the bank, which is the operating account for a project. There's also the treasury, which is where earnings and revenue, and you're able to share value with the users. And then here are some of the different apps we've built. So thank you so much for listening, and excited for everyone to be part of the journey. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I gotta, Michael.
Please.
I mean, that was a lot. That was a mouthful. I mean, I want to give you your flowers for coming prepped. But this is the thing about Web3 that I always try to get across, is that we always feel like we're talking to a bunch of other tech savvy crypto native individuals. How do you simplify this for a grandma in the elevator, or like the normies? Like, what is like your 15-second normie pitch?
Absolutely. So one way to think of it, it's NASDAQ, or a global stock exchange, where you can walk down the street to your favorite bakery, or, investing in the next Lionel Messi or LeBron James. And when they become a huge superstar athlete, or someone builds the next Starbucks, you as a customer, as an employee, you get ownership and be part of the upside. You think of Apple. When Apple went public, Steve Jobs said one reason why it was so successful was half of the employees were owners in Apple. We believe that what the unit network is going to do, it's going to allow 8 billion people to become investors and owners in all kinds of businesses around the world.
Cool. Michael, thank you for the presentation. Maybe just a couple of questions for you. It's just, big believer in the sense of one day we will have companies that will go public on chain. But how do you think about all of the supporting infrastructure, right? There's a regulatory aspect that needs to be handled. There's a governance aspect that needs to be handled. What are you doing beyond just, helping someone launch a token, which is fairly commoditized at this point?
I think we provide really powerful tools which allow for more transparency when people create coins. And we believe that this transparency and mechanisms like the treasury allow tokens to be created which aren't just based on hype and popularity, but based on the fundamental success of businesses. So even though you do say that token creation is commoditized, I really think it's similar to Facebook before Facebook with social networks, or Google with search. There might be many search engines, there might be many social networks, but I believe Unit Network is what it's going to take to put every company and business in the world on chain, whereby it's much easier to fundraise and much more likely to succeed because the community and customers have ownership.
Michael, I got a quick question for you. Is Twitter your main, or X, is X your main vehicle for marketing?
Well, I mean, we're speaking to some of the biggest brands and communities and networks in the world. We expect, similar to social networks, people underestimated how social networking would influence business as a means of marketing. We think people don't appreciate how Web3 and tokens are going to be such a powerful tool to allow customers to become the biggest marketers and salespeople because they have a sense of ownership. So it's not just X, it's also many other communities we're part of, sport IP, music IP, and we have some very well-known IP and brands which will announce soon, which we believe are going to help us get 8 billion people onto the blockchain.
And do you run the Twitter yourself for Unit Network? So I only bring it up, right, because I do think like Crypto X is like one of the biggest tools that we have in crypto, and your last 3 posts combined have 0 likes, right? Like that, dude, that's a red flag for me. Or like
I appreciate
we gotta
that.
switch it up, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we've been pretty low key up to this point. I think now we're ramping things up significantly. I think many projects might have thousands or tens of thousands of likes, but they have not a very strong piece of technology or product. And I think, you know, we've been working hard on developing some really good technology and infrastructure. And, you know, there was a road in Indonesia which needed capital. I said I'll be the biggest donor in it if it used a coin, and it showed how public infrastructure could be funded through a token. There was a solar energy project in Hungary. It couldn't raise money traditionally. It created a coin on Unit, fundraised using digital assets, stable coins, crypto. I think it's much more important to build value in the real world than create vanity metrics or artificial value on social media.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think that it was close in the first half, but you kind of killed it at the end. And very interesting project. Seems like you have everything squared away. You know, I gotta say, in this space, we're used to just not a lot of effort. So, congrats on your part, brother. Any final words from the judges before we move on?
Thank you so much to the judges and organizers. Really appreciate this opportunity, and I'm looking forward for all the success for this to come. Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Michael. All right, let's keep the pitch party going. As a reminder, guys, if you want to participate, make sure you scan the QR code or hit sync or swim in the chat. Next up, our second contestant of the day is going to be, I think it's Jashaka. I got it right, with Gcoy. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. And how you feeling? You feeling a little nervous? We just got to
feeling good.
You got to follow that performance up.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm Jashaka, founder of Gcoy. I'm an open source developer and blockchain architect living in.
Okay, give me 1 second. We're gonna start the timer right now.
Okay, let me go. I have my speech. So I'm founder of Gcoy. I'm a Jamaican open source developer and blockchain architect living in Spain. I created a VR application 10 years ago called Jashaka. Man, this thing is too fast, bro. Called Jashaka, sorry. And that's my passion in 3D. So Gcoy is building the future of gaming. We're creating a AAA quality PvP browser-based game. Think Mortal Kombat meets Tekken, launching with a community twist where you fight as your PFP in tournaments, community branded arenas using your apes, mutants, pretty much anything that works in other side. The PvP fighting game market is worth $80 billion. The average monthly revenue per player is $20, generated via microtransactions from in-game sales, weapons, so on. 100 active users can generate over $20 million, $2 million a month, which is a great foundation for growth. Why gaming? So my inspiration came from a trip to Japan. And the sense of connectedness and community I saw there was so spiritual. It helped me to find a path. And when I came back, I wanted to merge Asian culture with gaming. So our arena is built using open source philosophy, right? Which is participation equals ownership. Our goal is to bridge Web3, Web2 with real player game. So our game runs entirely in the browser. We're using web GPU technology web GPU technology that delivers PS5 quality graphics without the delivery cost. So no downloads, no installs, accessible to anyone, anywhere, removing all barriers to entry. By delivering it directly to players, we cut out middlemen, PSN, Xbox, Steam, and we have access to an $800 billion market. So gaming development is expensive. We're entirely self-funded. Building the public has got us to where we are today. We started 3 years ago, built up an amazing team, and that's my 2.5 minutes. Okay, I can show my trailer if you'd like to see the trailer. So here's an example of the in-game graphics and how the gameplay is. So we've already integrated with Azuki, Bored Apes, and other gaming chains, and we're launching a token on November 25th on OpenSea, where people will be able to become a part of the community and help to be part of something new, right? Building the future of gaming is a challenge. It's not going to be easy, but it's all about community in Web3 and getting the community on board to make sure that, you know, we build big things together, right? That's the spirit of Web3.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the presentation. Maybe I have a couple of questions. So the first one being, can you kind of walk me through, I guess, like what are like the on-chain kind of crypto mechanics to the game? And then two, how do you think about like just Web3 gaming at large? Like I have yet to see like a token launch in Web3 gaming that has a sustainable economy. So how do you kind of think about like your differentiation and right to win in the space long term?
So we're building really for gamers, right? So we have a token, but it's a stable coin. So it's not like get rich quick, pump my bags, right? It's something that gamers can earn and then they can cash out via DeFi swaps to communities that they support. So we support, for instance, cash out to Ape Chain, to Anime Coin. We also have USDC for traditional players to cash out to. I think, you know, our game is a different league of Web3 gaming. I think this is AAA graphics, right? Running in the browser. Or we really want to help Web3 people take part of this launch and earn as a part of what we're doing, but then bridge us into Web2 where you have the, you know, Fortnite, right? They make what, $300 million a month or something. So, you know, going from Web3 to Web2 and then taking the people with us so that they can be a part of that success as we grow and as we become bigger and stronger.
Got it. And then I guess like beyond just like the stablecoin aspect, I guess what are some of the other kind of like on-chain mechanics? Like are any of like, let's say, in-game items, are they represented on-chain as NFTs, or how do you just think about like what is some of the more crypto forward mechanics look like for this game?
So all the assets used in game are basically NFTs. We're working with Immutable. So they will be hidden really from people, you know, so Web2 gamers should see them as assets that they can take out of the game, which is super cool. Web3 gamers can then build on this and trade them on secondary markets, for instance. So creating revenue streams for people who like it, but making it seamlessly for the people who don't. And this is how we want to bridge these two worlds.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, so my question is more towards the funding and like game development side. Do you guys have a war chest, and is the game finished, or like how close to being finished?
So we've been building for 3 years, games in beta. Towards the end of this video that I was playing, you could see some actual gameplay. Every Thursday we have a fight night where gamers come on board and we show them the game and they give us feedback. So we're building in public, right, which allows us to incorporate feedback every week into the product. We are self-funded, but we've been self-funded for 3 years and happily building. I mean, the traditional way of creating a game, you need 20 million bucks. Building in public means that you can actually build and grow people come on, you get support where you would never think, which is amazing. So I'm enjoying the whole building public strategy and concept. It's amazing. And I think other game companies, some of these guys spend 95 million on a game and it tanks, right? Browser-based games also means that we can push updates live to the community as we implement them. So, you know, you want your character in the game, next week he's there. That's the idea.
So the reason why I asked, right, is because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there is another game called Token Fighter, I want to say. It is a eerily similar concept. They've also been building for like 3 years. It's from a Bored Ape community member. That's the only reason why I know. Like, what would stand you apart from them? I don't even know if you're familiar, but
I'm not familiar, but I would love to work with them and collaborate, right? I mean, there's tons of games in Web 2, huge games. And I think Web 3 has this philosophy of it's me versus you. It really should be us together taking on the industry. That's why, you know, we support Apes, we support Azukis. We work with small projects. The small projects, we want to get all their IP in the game, not just the big ones, right? But I like the collaboration side of Web 3, and, you know, I wish there was more. I will have to say Apes community are cool. We're speaking with some of the senior people there and they're super helpful. So, you know, big respect to those guys. But yeah, you know, I'd love to work together with those guys. What sets us apart from them? I don't know. I'd have to see it.
no, that's fair. I appreciate it.
Check. Definitely heard the pitch, and I'm grateful my Brazilian internet is working, even though I'm in Miami. So you said that you're self-funded. How much runway do you have left? Because one of the things that breaks my heart is when you do all this work and say people start to get into the game and join the community, and all of a sudden you run out of funding, and then, you know, the game just falls off the map.
So we have great investors who are partners in the game. So self-funded is between myself and the investors. We have no risk of running out of cash. The main issue is cash to scale. So we have a token launch at the end of this month on OpenSea. We have a tremendous amount of interest from external VCs on the game side, because, you know, changing the status quo with browser-based gaming, this is extremely disruptive, right? You're talking disruptive to PlayStation Network. I mean, disruptive to Steam, right? You don't need a third party if you can play, if your game is accessible via the browser. So I'm pretty confident we will raise capital to match. So we're not just reliant on selling NFTs and you know, selling crypto. You know, raising, as a CEO of a company, your job is always raising money. So this is what I do on a daily basis, right? Make sure that we can keep scaling and getting the money to do so.
%. Shout out to Gcoy. Jashaka, how we feeling, brother? That's a pretty big W.
Yeah, feeling great. I'm glad we got a win. My prompter was busted, but I live this stuff. I love it, and I love the community. Thank you for voting for me, and thanks to the judges.
Awesome, judges. Any last words before we move on to the next contestant?
I say bring it to other side. You know,
bring it. We're bringing it.
Bring the game over to other side. Definitely bring the game over to other side when that's accessible.
All right, JK, Bunny, anything?
Nah, just congratulations, man.
Yeah, really cool.
All right, let's keep the ball rolling, guys. Next, we have a Blockgram. As a reminder, guys, you guys can participate on deciding on whether a project sinks or swim by go ahead and scanning the QR code, or, you know, typing in the chat, sink or swim. Next, we got Ayush from Blockgram. Ayush, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Look, we've had 2 consecutive swims. I hope you swim. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, to be very honest with you. Yeah, let's just put myself out there and see how people like it. We've been building for a while now. Let's see how it goes.
All right, well, that's the attitude right there. Let's lock in. Your 10-minute start now.
Hello, guys. I'm Ayush. I'm from Dubai. I'll give you a brief introduction about myself before I introduce my platform, what we're building. I started my first company when I was 19. It was an e-commerce company. We scaled it up to $1 million in revenue. I automated the company and then I got into crypto. I started a software company. And we started automating this company as well. We started building softwares for a lot of crypto KOLs and a lot of clients out there. So my strong suit is I am very close to a lot of KOLs in this space, like a lot of KOLs. I know them personally. I've worked with Alex Becker. I've worked with Overdose. I've worked with a lot of KOLs in this space. And that's how I have breathed and lived this space. I have scanned all the alphas, just like you guys, just like all the DJs out there. I've scanned all the alphas. I've been on Telegram groups, scrolling through all the Telegram channels, scrolling through all the Telegram private groups. So I've been in this space for a while. Now, the biggest problem, what we felt while we were while we were going through our journey, was Telegram felt like an outdated application all in itself. Doesn't it feel like it's a 15-year-old application? And it has not grown at the pace crypto has been growing, to be very honest with you. So what we started doing was, like 1.5 years ago, we brought down one of our best teams out there and we started building a better Telegram in itself. Something that helps you, make sure that you don't miss all the alphas. So basically what we have built is Blockgram. So what Blockgram does is, I'll give you the main features about Blockgram. What it does is, so through Blockgram, you can send money directly to any username. So basically you're in a chat, you can simply click the pay button and you can send the money. You don't need to copy the wallet address, go to MetaMask and then paste the wallet address and send money. So you can send the money directly through the app itself. So for example, you have an alpha or you have to snipe a token, for example. You can simply click on the token ticker. For example, you're in a group, you can simply click a token ticker and you can just buy the token from Blockgram's APIs itself. So what we have done is we have built a curated app so that you don't ever miss an alpha. So you can have a custom notification. For example, I'm in Overdoses Private. Overdoses Private gets all the alpha, like they called Aster, like at 2 million or 3 million market cap. They get all the alpha very quickly. So what I can do is set up custom notifications for all the guys that I feel are very good hunters, and Blockgram will give me custom notification within itself, and I'll not miss any alpha. Apart from that, do you not feel amazed that Telegram doesn't have AI within itself? So for example, I've been on a trip, like I was in Europe last week. I missed out on a lot of messages, a lot of private groups, a lot of alphas. So what Blockgram does is there is a summarize button within Blockgram. The AI summarizes all the chats. So I don't have to scroll through 3,000, 4,000 messages, and Blockgram just summarizes everything for me within itself. We're right now within our MVP stage. We have approximately 10,000 early users. We're targeting college students, we're targeting hackathons, and we're trying to build an inside community, and we're trying to build in DeFi circles. Apart from that, obviously, since I'm very close to a lot of KOLs myself, so I have a lot of support from them as well. They've been very involved in our journey, and they're trying to understand how we're targeting it, because the biggest issue with them is there is no verification. For example, if you get a message from Alex Becker, how do you know if it's the real Alex Becker or not? So what Blockgram does is it gives you a verification ticker, something like there's a verification on Twitter, right? There's a verification on Instagram now. So there'll be a verification on Blockgram as well. So these are the custom features that we are building. Yeah, for all the guys.
All right, real quick, dude. You mentioned KOL twice, right?
Yeah.
Did you make this X account for Blockgram like 5 minutes before this pitch? How could you possibly mention KOLs twice and have 35 followers, bro?
So
dude, 30. I could start a Twitter for my goldfish and have 35 followers by the end of this show.
Definitely. So how it basically works is we don't want to hype it up very much, because the moment people know that it's my project, it's going to get hyped up anyways. And we don't want to have a hype launch where the token goes up very instantly and it becomes very difficult to sustain the price. So what we are doing is we are trying to keep it stealth, because like building a community or getting all the KOLs is not like an issue for us. This is our strongest suit. So we're trying to like be as stealth as we can, but at the same point of time, build in public. So as soon as we get to the stage where we want to market the X account and we want to get visibility and all those things, we'll instantly get there. Like this is one of our strongest suites, so we're not concerned about that, to be very honest with you. And obviously, we've not reached that stage also. Like we're building in public, yeah.
It's a little sussy vodka just to even mention KOL.
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand. I understand your point of view. But we have not reached that stage. Like we're building. We're in the midway of building, to be very honest with you. So that's the whole point of view. Yeah.
I think that he may be late to the party. Unfortunately, like meme coins are in the gutter right now. The trenches are dried up. And yeah, like Bunny said, you mentioned the word KOL. That was a great word. I mean, it's like the market. It's a volatile a word.
Yeah, definitely.
As of right now, the word KOL is not a good word, man. It's really not a good word. So, and I think you're late to the party. So I wish you would have built this thing when the trenches were hot. Seems like, the people that voting agree with me. You may be a little wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm always down to get proved wrong, but at the end, to put their last couple late to the party.
I would just like to, for example, show you something. Like, just for an example, I'll show you my app. So, for example, I've been having this conversation with someone, right? So I can just send the payment right from here. Like, I don't need to go through another app. It's very annoying to go to MetaMask, go to Uniswap to do all those things. And through this Blockgram button, I can just summarize all the conversations itself. So so for example, like there have been conversations for 3 years also, and I can summarize and ask questions. I can ask particular questions also. And to be very honest, with someone whose Telegram buzzes a lot all the day, you get spam messages, scam messages all the day, you get messages, like you get important messages also. An AI summarize button is very important so that I can filter out the accounts which are very good. So that is something which is very important for anybody who uses Telegram for crypto, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, I guess like I'm just curious in terms of like why did you decide to build this as a standalone app, right? So like Telegram has 1 billion monthly active users. There's multiple different flavors of attempts of just perhaps building out like a mini app. For example, I think like Ansem has like this bullpen app that does a lot of the same kind of functionality. So, what went into the decision to decide to go build out standalone, build out your own kind of like social graph, et cetera? And like, how do you ultimately win?
So again, we're not what people are thinking is we've built another app. It's Telegram itself. We are just leveraging Telegram and we are leveraging the APIs of Telegram to build something more crypto native. That is the basic thing. So we've not built another app in itself, or we're not, competing with all other social media applications. It's just a Telegram itself, but more crypto native, particularly.
Aren't there AI summary bots that you can add to Telegram though?
Yeah, you can, but they don't work in custom settings. They can't work for private groups. They can't work for chats. So yeah, there are, but it doesn't work for custom settings.
So are you using the Telegram social graph, but you're building out your own custom client? Is that
yeah. So we are using a lot of the APIs from Telegram, and we're building our own application up on top of it. Yeah.
Of the day. Ayush, hey, it happens. You can't have swims all day. How you feeling about it?
All good, nothing like that. Like we were clearly underprepared. We were in the initial stages of our marketing, so it's all right.
My good made an X account right before that. I love it. But hopefully, you guys.
No, we did not make it before it. We've been here for a while. Okay. It's been 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you. Good to have you on the show, brother. Judges, any last words, Ilya?
No words from my side other than, just figuring out, like, again, the choice between building your own client and thinking about how you're going to get distribution and compete with some of these other apps.
All right.
Yeah, man, I don't think you should give up. Like, I don't hate the idea. Like you said, I'm just not sure it was the right time maybe to pitch it in this setting.
All right. Illa, any final words? On to our last project. Thank you, Aisha. Appreciate you here. Okay, we're going to move on to our last project, which is going to be Warp. Guys, as a reminder, if you want to participate in voting for the project, scan the QR code or post, type, sink, or swim in the chat, and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on while you're at it. But lastly, we have Matthew from the Warp Chain. Matthew, how you doing? 2 swims, 1 sink. How do you think you're going to do? I think your mic is muted, Matt. Okay, I heard something.
Can you hear me?
There it is. How we doing? How you feeling?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm feeling great today. It's really exciting to see Gcoy up there as well. We actually published them. So
okay.
That's going to be interesting.
Well, awesome, brother. We're excited to hear all about the project, last project of the day. So without further ado, your 10 minutes starts now.
Okay, so I'm just going to present this one. I'm Matt. I'm from Warp, and we are the revolution in game publishing. So we all know that Web3 gaming is basically trashed. It's broken. We've seen this happen over the last couple of years, and essentially many of the games companies that have raised have fallen over. However, that's not the case in Web2 game. It's still growing massively. So how do we fix this? How do we get to the promised land of what Web2 gaming is doing? Our solution is game publishing times DeFi. So we can own the vertical and outperform the market. We have basically all the current tech solutions ready for Web3 games, and we provide them for free to our games, so we can undercut everyone. In terms of traction, we have 6 blockchains already partnered with us. The Web3 infra is built, and we have free AI-powered infrastructure, 27 games and 250 in the waiting list, and a community of 42 million in prepaid distribution. Again, we have few rivals because there's not many people in this space doing publishing. And yeah, why do we think we can do this? Well, we have a lot of experience. So here's me and the crew, and just a little bit about us. We have 300 years of combined experience across Web 2 and Web 3, including King, CD Projekt Red, Valve, Sega, Rovio, Jagex, Miniclip, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Farmville, Angry Birds, Final Fantasy, you name it, we built it. Basically, we're in the top 0.01% of the industry, with over 1 billion game units sold between us, 3 billion players reached, and 200 plus major game launches, all of them fun and painful. That's what we do. And this is underpinned by our full stack gaming tech. We have all of the suite that you need to publish your game, and we'll be providing games like Gcoy with anything they need from this, from launchpads to dexes to AI on-chain NPCs. And yeah, we're also building our NFT peer-to-peer trading SDK and white label questing. Upcoming games. Well, it's the next 10 titles, but there's even more in the pipeline, and we have 50-50 revenue deals with a lot of these, which makes us industry leaders. We onboard that revenue onto the blockchain, and that's why it works. We take revenue from successful games, and then we push that into our L1 and to our node holders. We also have our distribution locked down with Capital Guilds. We have YGG, KGen, and many others, all led by creators. Essentially, we're not bootstrapping our own community from scratch. We're going to where gamers are, where gamers exist, and what they're already doing, and we're pushing on that. Of course, we've got loads of chain partners. We're probably the only L1 which is actually partnered with Avalanche, Beam, Scale, Immutable, VaynerChain, Vira, Gears, and with many others in the pipeline. I want to speak to ApeChain. I want to get us up there as well. So that would be really good. This is just our roadmap. It's less exciting than your questions. Our tokenomics is also fantastic. We have lots of information in there. And I am going to switch back to say thank you. And what are your questions? What have you got for me? Apologies, my voice is a little bit done. I've been in meetings all day. All good.
Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, thanks for the pitch. How do you just walk me through a little bit more about like what's been the traction so far? You guys like generating revenue, like just kind of walk me through like the tractions, given that you have such a robust pipeline. How do you think about like just value accrual long term?
Yeah, so in terms of value accrual, we have a ton of games in the pipeline. And the difficulty with Web3 games is many of them are underdeveloped. So many of them require funding to keep going. And what we're doing is we're actually lowering the costs that they would be paying to sort of tech providers and the rest so that we can actually get them there. I don't think many games realize that they don't need to raise super much. They can actually get there if they actually have the tech provided to them for free. If they have the marketing budget provided to them for free, they can focus on the development and they can focus on bringing in value. In terms of what we're looking at, we have revenue projections that put us sort of at the size of a mid-level publisher by the end of next year. And the best thing about our model is we can even publish Web2 games as well. So that's fantastic because we onboard that revenue goes to our token, and then that token gets distributed back to node holders, and all of the games that we publish hold nodes. So they become sort of part of the network, and our capital guilds also hold nodes in our network. So if you're in a guild and you're pushing a game, and that game's doing well, that is going to come back to you in the form of revenue. And this is essentially what we do is everyone working in their own benefit for their own bags brings up the whole network.
Got it. And just to make sure it's clear, in terms of like the revenue model itself, is it like kind of like SaaS when you're talking to some of these developers, or
it's a rev
like
share
it's a kind of
agreement.
rev share agreement? Like how,
Yes,
like
rev
what's
share
the
agreement signed with games
Okay, thank you.
over various periods of time, up to like 3 years, sometimes more. And what this allows us to do is we're not dependent on a game doing well or not doing well. And we're independent from that. No games go on our blockchain. And because no games go on our blockchain can work with all of the others. So we are working with Avalanche, we're working with Beam, we're working with Scale and Immutable. I mean, you can see we even have quests on Immutable, which is pretty rare for an Avalanche L1. The idea is that we bring this huge community of gaming together. The games can then work with the chains to do what the chains do well, which is providing the tech and the sort of service at the back end. And for us, we provide the DeFi layer to help accelerate their growth.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey Matt. I mean, I'm familiar with you guys. I've spoken to you before. I like you guys and the project. It does seem like your ecosystem could get a little convoluted to newer participants. What was the decision behind having an NFT marketplace and not just using like the already established ones?
So this is really a tech service. This isn't really for us. This is if a game wants to put their own NFT marketplace inside their app, we provide that white label version. Now, think of it more like that. If they want to sell them on OpenSea, that's completely fine. And because it's free tech, it doesn't really matter for the royalties. Since we take revenue share, we don't charge for that service either. So we're not taking a cut or anything like that. It's really just to provide them what they need to build.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I back? Am I back? Can you hear me? Matthew, what's going on, brother? You know, it's working on you and working on the other side. I love gaming. So I see you have these warp nodes. Like, what are the node rewards? How does that work?
Okay, so the node rewards are 20% of our revenue split between 3,000 nodes, and that's fixed. And so that is 20% of the revenue that the entire network makes is split between every single one of those nodes. We have different types of nodes. And along with that, you also get game data as well. So you can find out what to invest in. You get all of the benefits of being part of the communities. And this is why we give them out to guilds. This is why we give them out to games. And that's on top of as well, there's about 21% of the token supply on top of the revenue share that's also given out over 3 years to these nodes. So really good ROI, and long term, we're expecting them to be able to actually fund indie development. So when you start off, you're going to be an extractor, you're going to be a game, you get a node, maybe that's going to help you with some server costs. It's an alternative method for grants. We don't want to give grants to people. We've seen that hasn't worked in the past. So if we give them a node that's earning from the total network, then essentially as they get bigger and as they contribute more, then they graduate from that. And that node, then they can stake their warp and earn mindshare token, which will allow them to then publish their games faster, or, you know, get community backing for this as well. So yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Nice.
I'm feeling fantastic, and I'm glad to see my boy Jashaka up there. And like, we're going to change gaming. The whole point is that if everyone is working for their bags in their own way, playing games, enjoying games, it's only a simple fix. The rest of gaming is performing incredibly well. There's no reason why we should suck. It's a skill issue, as they like to say in gaming.
And
that's what we're there for, to help all of the other games, and to, you know, help them grow.
Well, awesome, brother. I play Elden Ring, so I understand what that is. But brother, thank you so much for coming on the show. And guys, that's the show for the day. Just want to give a quick thank you to all of the projects that participated in today's show. Huge shout out to our judges, Illa, JK, and of course, Buddy. Guys, make sure to smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a follow over on X. And massive thank you to Hello Labs for powering Killer Whales Live. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys.